Okay, so this is a video about adjusting your TPS or throttle position sensor on a 2013 Hyosung GT650 naked version. So this is one of the 2013 plus models, which I think they all have a Delphi kind of computer, Delphi electronics. So they've got updated electronics, and it's a little bit different to some of the earlier than 2011, 2012, and before models. So basically, what you're going to do is you're going to come to your bike, and it won't be pre-prepared, but you'll take off your rear seat, take off your forward seat, and then you'll loosen this nut in here, which is holding down your fuel tank. You're going to lift up the back of the fuel tank a little bit and just get it above this plastic kind of seat shroud stuff, and chuck in a chock of wood to keep that tank held in that position. And this way you're not going to have to worry about taking the whole tank off and taking off fuel lines or anything like that. I found even with my big hands, there was just enough room to get into everything. Okay, so you are going to then, you've got a key, and yeah, rehearsals would help on this. Okay, so you're going to be working on the left side of your bike. There's no reason to be on the other side. And we're down here on the left side. And what we're interested in is, I don't know if you can see it, but it's going to be really difficult. It is, I'll put a torch in there. That thing up there with the electrical connector. Now, I'm sure you cannot hardly see any of that. How about I try a different angle? So, in there is you can't see, but anyway, you'll look at a manual or some pictures that other people have taken that are really good and show you what the TPS looks like. So anyway, we don't need to go there. We're not so interested. It's useful if you know the colors of the wires. I think, although in my case it wasn't useful because the wire colors don't add up or don't seem to continue through to the loom. But anyway, on the left side of your bike, around this area of the frame, you're going to look in here and see that little connector. That's what we want. That is what we're going to tease out. So just take it out. Yep, there you go. This connector has these 8 wires which go in, and they go to the intake air pressure and maybe the intake oxygen sensor, IAT, and the IAP sensors, and the TPS. So in total, you've got about 8 wires, 3 from the IAT, 3 from the TPS, which is what we're interested in, and 2 from the intake IAT, or the other one. I don't know what it is. Anyway, so we are going to tap into this, and I do not have a camera person to help me. But anyway, what we're going to do is put some paper clips in. So we're going to take paper clips and put them in to our blue and the second wire down. So first one is, focus camera, first one is orange and black, and the next one is blue and green. So we want one in our blue and green. I'll do that now. Okay, so I've taken a paper clip and I've pushed it. Let me put my torch back on. A paper clip, and we've pushed it in to there's basically, the wire goes into the connector, and around the entrance of the wire into that connector is a rubber kind of grommet to seal out any dust, moisture, so that the connection stays clean. So we've just pushed a paper clip, inserted a paper clip straight down. So you can see how far the paper clip's gone in. So you need it to go about that far in to be sure you've got a good, you've definitely penetrated and you're making wire contact. So I had a bit of difficulty figuring out how to do this bit at first, but yeah. I'll put the next paper clip into down here, this one, right on the edge here. It is a green and red, I believe. Okay, 2 paper clips. So on my bike, these are the wires that I'm using. I'm not sure if that's going to be the same on anyone else's 2013 650 GT because I think that the wire coloring is a bit confusing. But anyway, it doesn't matter if you poke them in and just use your multimeter to find out the voltage that most likely is the TPS. Okay, next you're gonna clip it up. So you've got your multimeter here on voltage and you're gonna put your little clippies on, one on there, hang it off there, and second clip off your other. Doesn't matter if they're back the front or red, black on this one or that one, doesn't matter, it'll just give you a negative or positive voltage reading. You're not going to make anything blow up. So now go over and put your ignition on, and voila, on our voltmeter we have our TPS reading of a closed throttle, a TPS reading of 1.12 volts, 1.1213. So I've just adjusted this actually, and it was 1.09 and I brought it up to 1.12, 1.13 because I felt that it gave a lot more control and fine movement through the 2,000 to 5,000 range. Before that, I kind of, once I put it on, once I opened the throttle a little bit, it seemed to just climb up to 5,000 or drop from 5,000 down to idle. It was kind of like nothing or 5,000 revs. And you can imagine what that's like going around bends on mountain tracks. Yeah, it's not fun. So now what we have to do to adjust this. Now I don't want to adjust it. So I guess this is a shit tutorial because I should have done it the first time around. But I'm happy with where it is. But maybe I'll just show you anyway. So if I can, in here is our TPS. So that right in the center there's that Phillips head nut there on the black body. If I can get a finger onto it. So where my fingers, the end of my finger, that nut is what we need to loosen. So I'm not going to show you this part because it just kind of probably won't be helpful. It's so dark. But what we're doing is, yeah, no light, shitty camera work, is we're gonna go in, you can't see because my head, the phone or my head gets to be in this shot. So, yeah, there you go. I've got a spanner. Oh man, I am not designed to control a spanner, a phone camera, and try and move my head to get good headlamp. But my spanner's on that, and I'm going to loosen that bolt, that nut, off at the TPS. I'm going to leave this connected. This is fine. I'm going to fire the bike up. So, totally fine with the bike running to have all this going. You can see as I open my throttle, the TPS changes. There you go. And basically what you're going to do is get in there, loosen that nut, get in there, loosen that nut, and just wiggle the TPS sensor back and forth. You don't need to take the nut fully out. You just want to undo it, say 1 or 2 turns. And you'll just wiggle the TPS sensor up and down. And you can see it's got an elongated hole through which the nut goes so that the TPS can slide and pivot. And its movements, just play with it, goes up and down. Play with it when the bike's off and when you've got the ignition to on, like so. Because when the ignition's on, you get the TPS reading. So play with it in this position and figure out which way puts it up and which way puts it down.